So everyone knows about the Ukraine war and how it's affected fuel prices, and they're sort of expecting a well. This is the Irish Independent. So Ireland have put a contingency plan in if fuel supplies drop below a certain level. If you scroll down, it's got I think the percentage drops in. There, scroll up a little bit.
You want to read the headline first?
Oh yeah, I'll read deadline.
For the audio viewers.
Return of work from home plan to save fuel in event of a crisis caused by Ukraine war. Um, so delegates were given a scenario of a 20% diesel supply deficit in September and a 35% drop in supply in December. The third and most extreme scenario proposed for 2023, where gas and oil supplies cannot meet demand for electricity generation or farmers preparing to cut. Is that silage?
Silage.
Silage. You'd go to farms. What's a silage?
Silage.
Crops.
Yeah.
All
You're
right.
taking it, yeah.
So it looks like it reminds me a bit of like the COVID event where all non-essential workers will be ordered to work from home. A limit will be placed on non-essential car travel. A strict limit on the amount of fuel motorists can buy at one time. The implementation of immediate and strict reduction in the speed limit on motorways.
That one's funny. That last one's funny.
But what's scary is that the sort of, I know this is the extreme scenario.
Get out of jail free card. Like this can be implemented.
Yeah, it can be implemented, and it's been done before, so people will be more likely to
Adhere to it.
adhere to it.
Yeah, because imagine this coming out before COVID. Everyone would be like, what the fuck is going on?
But because of COVID, everyone's sort of become accustomed. Well, a lot of people are still working from home. The non-essential car travel, that was a COVID regulation as well. The strict limit on fuel, that wasn't. But these regulations that they're going to bring in, or potentially will bring in, they just remind me of the COVID restrictions again.
Yeah, they sound like for like COVID restrictions.
But one thing that worries me is they've gone to the extreme scenario where they can't power electricity and farming will be affected. And you don't really think about that. Like, you just see the fuel price going up at the pump. You don't think about what else fuel's actually used for.
Well, with fuel price going up, it just means that's just going to power inflation because, well, yeah, like they're saying, this is what I've learned from going on the farms is people are getting confused. For example, when carrots are going up from 20p to 30p and people are kicking off, but they're actually putting them prices up by that much. They're making lower the amount because of the fuel crisis.
Yeah, but you can't put them too high because...
Yeah, they can't balance it out, so they keep making the same amount in because people can't pay it because salaries aren't going up.
Yeah, I think we're like heading for a real problem with food prices and the cost of living. I feel like we're just sort of seeing the start of it now.
It feels like, well, to me, it feels like shit's going to get a lot worse before it gets a lot better.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know how much worse it's going to get.
It's because there's nothing that's actually broken at the moment. You have to wait for things to get broken before people fix it.
Yeah, that's like human nature, though. Like,
yeah.
Kick the can down the road until it completely breaks.
Yeah, don't fix what's not broken, sort of thing. But
yeah.
Even when you can see that something's about to break, no one's really going to jump at it.
I don't know what can be done, though, really.
It's a hard one with this COVID thing, with this restrictions thing, because I mean they're using the freedom of people as they did with COVID is as a way to. I know why they need to do it, because if farmers don't get the fuel, then all prices are going to spike up. But then think about anything that ever happens where there's a problem, they're always going to resort back to, right, everyone get home again.
Yeah, take our freedoms away.
Yeah, and it's just going to get worse and worse, and then everyone's going to get used to it after a generation, and the next generation is just going to be used to always being in and out of lockdown, and then boom, it's going to be fucking 1984.
Yeah, no, it's true. I was listening to what's his name? Joe Rogan and Lex Friedman.
Mm.
Did you ever listen to that podcast?
Joe Rogan on Lex Friedman, or do you?
No, Lex Friedman on Joe Rogan.
Yeah, I think I listened to half of it. It was recent, wasn't it? Like last month, like within the month.
Yeah, I think it came out when I was away.
Yeah.
Joe says that once freedoms are taken away, they're very rarely given back.
Yeah.
And these like restrictions are reminding me of that. Like, they've already been taken away from us, so they can do it again.
Yeah.
And then when the next event happens, they'll just do it again.
Yeah, and the more they do it, the more people will get used to accepting it.
Yeah.
And it'll be a norm. And then it'll only be a few people who will disagree with it. And then sooner or later, them few people who do disagree with it will just be seen as fucking right-wing weirdos. Extremists.
Yeah, outsiders.
Because it will just become norm because the mass media will just make it a normal thing. Like, oh, it's time to go back in again, everyone.
Yeah. And then most people, there's always a reason behind it, like, you're helping the mass by doing this.
Yeah.
So it turns the people against other people. Because some people think, oh, fuck that, like, I'm going to go out in my car.
Yeah.
And then other people be like, wait, you can't go out in your car because the farmers aren't getting the things, so you're going to mess the food price up for us, not going to be enough food.
It's like a mask situation, isn't it?
Yeah. Like the mask situation, even when you was going out, like, in COVID, people were still, like, worrying about spreading COVID, and it's just it's going to turn people against people whilst taking away the freedoms, which is giving the government a lot of power.
Yeah, well, that's what it comes down to, though. In the end.
Yeah.
Have you watched much on the Davos event?
Well, have they got another event on now?
Yeah, they've had the 22. They've had the 22 of 2022 event on, and I don't know. I think I was watching it on Ben Shapiro. Do you know that the founder, that Klaus Schwab?
Yeah, Klaus Schwab.
I can't pronounce his name properly. But he was playing a few of his clips, and then just like analysing them. And Ben Shapiro was literally saying this guy is the definition of an evil guy that's taking over. In his voice and everything, he's like, we need to stand together, we need to do this, and it just sounds like he's just actually gonna rip us all to shreds.
Like a Bond villain, isn't it?
Yeah, literally, yeah, like a Bond villain. But I don't know. These are all pushing the Great Reset, so
that's like more and more I think about it, and I think we discussed this in the past, and I don't want to take away the fact that Ukraine's being fucking obliterated at the moment, but a part of me feels like something there might be staged, and it's another event to get people in line.
Yeah, or but you could say stage, or you could say there's a reason why it's been left the fuck alone by the West.
Yeah.
There's an opportunity, there's a monetary opportunity involved in it for them. Not for the masses, for them ones at the top.
Yeah,
because it could be easily we could easily get involved and stop that. But then there's the external factor of what the fuck's China going to do if we get involved in that. So there's it's complex, isn't it? Complex world.
and then it's like these people at the top, or these people who are part of this World Economic Forum. They're very wealthy people, and China's got a lot of money. And I know the US government and our government, they're corrupt as fuck.
Mm.
So even if our governments aren't part of what's going on, but they're seeing financial gains from it,
Yeah,
the people in power in our countries are seeing financial gains from it. Maybe they're just happy to sell out to China. And because this is what World Economic Forum want, really. They want a Chinese system in the West.
Yeah.
So maybe they're just happy to sell out to China and let the World Economic Forum deal with China and then bring it in to the West.
Mm. Replicate that model over here.
Yeah. Because they're getting financial gain from it. When that system comes in, they'll be tracked well.
Mm.
So it's not, I think last time I said to you how I can't picture a room full of powerful people all getting along with each other to sort of devise a plan like this. But
you're saying that, yeah, it's too perfect of a plan.
Yeah, but then if you think about it from not just people sat in a room like at a meeting table, think of it as all these people linked together through financial gain, then it could be possible. If they get a financial gain from it, they're going to say yes to anything.
Mm. Yeah, because that's all it comes down to. That's the bottom line. It's the numbers.
So rather than it being like staged as in they are orchestrating it all, maybe like one guy's talking to another guy and he's saying this is going to happen, but this is going to benefit them people like that.
Yeah. Yeah, for example, Putin might have wanted to go and do Ukraine, invade Ukraine. The West or the US might have had nothing to do with that, but been told, right, he's going to go and do this to Ukraine, and it's going to benefit you in this way, this way, and this way. So you can either get involved or you can take these benefits.
Yeah.
And it's like, right, I'll just take the benefits then.
I reckon, yeah, it's probably orchestrated a bit more like that.
Yeah.
Then before, I think I was thinking about it more.
But in different ways. The Putin's nothing to do with sitting down with, I'm not going to say Biden, but it's, your people. Well, it's not even really like going to be Biden who's in control, but for example, Putin's not going to sit down with this Klaus guy and say he's doing this, and this. It's going to benefit you guys. He's going to want to have done that, and then they would have seen the benefits from not getting involved, the financial benefits from not getting involved. There's nothing to, I know what you mean. We're not connecting them two people together, but
yeah. Whereas before, I think I was thinking of it more simplistically, where all the world leaders are in a room together. Like,
yeah.
No, I don't think that happens. I think it's more, just they're seeing financial gain, so then they're just going along with it.
Yeah.
Even though they might oppose each other, but if they're being benefited from anything the other side are doing, then they're not bothered. They're just going to let it crack on.
But then, I mean, we're going to talk about this a bit more next week. Shout out to our Chinese special. But it's what everyone's going to see now. Definitely, this is what China are going to sit back and watch. Is all right. The West are just bending over backwards for money. Let's show them like they're getting done with money, like dumb riches, because they're getting so greedy. They're getting stupid. So
yeah, I think China have noticed that though, like that the West will do anything we want because we're going to give them money.
But that's going to shoot them in the arse, isn't it, at some point?
Yeah.
Because you're saying this thing, right, this concept where people are making moves and then it's up to the West if they're going to intervene or not, get involved or not get involved, dependent on the financial gain of their action. But there's only so long before someone does something which involves the West or the US losing money, and then they have to get involved because they're going to lose money if they don't, and then they're just going to get shafted.
Yeah, and I feel like that's what China are waiting for. That moment where the power balance shifts in their favor.
Yeah.
And you can see America's weakening by the day. It's getting weaker and weaker.
On so many different levels as well.
Yeah. In politics, in society in general, the people are turning against each other.
Yeah.
I've seen some videos on YouTube of like the poverty in America. It's fucking insane.
Yeah.
You'd think it's a third world country.
But then it's about the fact that people are so hung up on gender politics and gender identities and all this stuff, and they're just ignoring the bigger things that are going on in the world because they're so strung up on these, I'll say, these micro problems. I don't know what you would call them.
Yeah, like I've had this argument with people in the past about like diversity, like corporate diversity, especially. I think I've spoken to you about it. My views on it. It's just it feels like it's just like smoke and mirrors. It's there to get people on side, I think, with the corporations, and then it lets the corporations do what the hell they want. Because people, they don't look past what the corporation's telling them. So if corporations put in a Black Lives Matter or a pride flag on their logo for a month, like people look at that and think, oh yeah, this is a good company, like Apple, a good company, like they've got a pride logo on the thing.
Yeah.
But then they don't look behind the scenes of what else they're doing. Like we showed that video, I think it was last week, of all the Chinese workers trying to escape the MacBook factory.
Yeah.
But no one's talking about it.
The bigger problems, that's what no one's talking about. The bigger problems because they're looking at these little micro problems which are just being micro addressed. Which
at the end of the day is not, in the grand scheme of things, is not a massive deal because everyone's living in the Western world. Everyone's living, well, not everyone. The majority of people are living comfortable lives.
Yeah.
Everyone's got a roof over their heads. There might be some discrimination or some hate towards different genders or towards different races, but in the grand scheme of things, it's not a massive deal. There's worse things going on out there which are being overlooked.
Yeah.
Too focused on, because we're so comfortable, we're too focused on these little niceties that would be nice in society to have.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I don't know. I feel like this next decade is going to be a weird one. I think we're going to see some shit.
Yeah. I wouldn't even say the next decade, man. That brings you to 32.
Yeah, I mean like the 20s.
Yeah, throughout the 20s. Yeah, the Roaring 20s.
I wish it was the Roaring 20s.
Jesus, got so many things that are gonna just. It feels like everything is on a loose end, like a very.
Like on a knife's edge.
Yeah, like you can knock one thing and it's gonna have a massive domino effect on all sorts.
That's how it feels. Ever since COVID came in, it's felt like everything's just been like balancing, like on a little balance, and then you just need one thing to go like that. It's all just gonna
Everything's just gonna topple over, and then China take over the whole West, and what? Right.
But we'll save the China talk for when we do our next video.
Coming soon.